Namaskar, and since we are in the land of Odisha, I start with Jai Jagannath. I hope and pray that the grace of Lord Jagannath is on all of us, on the country, especially when we are in the Amrit Kal. We need immense cosmic energy to take this country forward, particularly when our youth are looking for opportunities to showcase their talents. This budget is the first in the Amrit Kal, and it comes at a time when challenges which are far more from the external sources rather than from internal, which pose serious uncertainties to us. In this environment, making sure that we are able to deliver on the growth momentum which we have attained post the pandemic is the first and big challenge. And as a result, this budget continues with that momentum which we started giving through public expenditure on capital asset building. It's even now touched the double digit in reaching the level of 10 lakh crores for capital expenditure. And in that, since the last 2 years, we have been giving a significant portion of the capital expenditure outlay to the states as well. So if 2 years ago the states had a share, that share is now increased to 1,30,000 crores. So states which so desperately need to build their capital assets, particularly in terms of bringing connectivity, will have an opportunity to have interest-free 50-year loan given by the center. And I'm sure Odisha will also benefit from this item head, which they can effectively use for bringing better capital assets for themselves. Other than this, which is the main focus, the budget clearly makes several attempts to bring in inclusion so that no section of our society is left behind. I know Odisha again has a large SAST population and tribal population as well, for whom particular assistance have also been extended through the most primitive tribes, wherein we want to reach total saturation in terms of all the schemes which have been launched, whether it is the Awas Yojana, Nal Se Jal, Har Ghar Jal, or even the LED bulbs, or the wellness centers, and so on. So even if the primitive tribes are getting assistance through the tribal allocations, ministries' allocations, this special gesture during this budget for reaching saturation for the primitive groups will benefit Odisha as much as it will benefit the neighboring Jharkhand as well. So saturation is now the key word in the name of inclusion, whether you're making sure that all eligible people from the backward or the scheduled tribes and other eligible citizens get every fundamental benefits that the budgets have been focusing since 2014, will get it, so that if once the saturation is achieved, we are very clear that they will be empowered enough to take care of what they want for themselves and their families. If inclusion through saturation is being aimed at, and also developing MSMEs is another basic focus that we've had, very many regulations or rules, very many conditions which applied for the MSMEs in doing business since the Atmanirbhar announcements of 2020 have been clearly addressing each one of these concerns to reduce the compliance burden, to be defined better, enhance definition, and also coverage for credit from banks. Also the ease of doing business from the point of view of keeping records, maintaining records, and so on. So MSMEs have definitely been the center of our developmental goals, and also making sure that MSMEs did get that good immunity, did get that coverage during the COVID period so that they don't go into liquidation. And in this budget as well, for any failure to attend to services or goods as per contracts signed with the government, if there has been a failure in completing the service as is agreed in the contract, MSMEs have been given almost 95% waiver in that their guarantees will not be included or invoked. And that would give them a relief even if they had failed to fulfill the contract as signed with, let us say, the government or government agencies in the union government's case. So only 5% would be retained, and the rest 95% of the securities which they've given will all be released. Other than that, I think a major problem which the MSMEs face is delayed payments from people, whether it's government or the private sector companies, for services rendered, for goods supplied. Normal period is about 45 days, then it was tolerated, saying 90 days, if within that 90 days you're able to do it, it's fine. But in spite of declaring the dues, the servicing of MSMEs or due payments which have to reach the MSMEs were not being done in time. So after several nudging of those private sector companies and also the government departments more than nudging happened, and therefore they did clear majority of the dues. But the private sector which are listed, who even put it to the MCA records that they have dues for the MSMEs, were not even clearing it up. So there was this one little step which has been taken.
Success can be simple with TSG Gurukul. Endless career. Right move for bright future. TSG Gurukul. Phone 94387 82020.